Alright, here's a new task we're trying. Refinishing my Ruger Blackhawk, new model Blackhawk. It's a 357 Magnum. It shoots pretty good, but you can see it's soaking in vinegar now, and there's a lot of the bluings off. I think when I was very young, when I was very, very young, I tried bluing it. It was pretty rusty. It was left in a holster in a very damp place, so it rusted all up. The inside's pretty good. The barrel's pretty good. But you could see this pitting on everything. So this is the worst side. So I'm gonna try rebluing it. It looks like Cabela's has some of the Brownells bluing in stock. So I'm gonna just keep soaking this. I'm gonna take it out, wipe it down, probably buff it up a little bit with the steel wool, and then put it back in, let it soak overnight. Even let it really beat the crap out of it. But the bluing's coming off pretty good. I'll probably just keep beating on it, just keep sanding it down, trying to get it down to bare metal finish. And once I get it to a point, I'll just oil it down and wait for the bluing to get delivered, or maybe I'll just pick it up tomorrow. It'll be good. Clean it up and then try applying some bluing to it. So that's the plan. I'll look up the serial number this year, but I think I'm gonna guess this is a 70s, 1970s Blackhawk 357. I've put a couple 100 rounds through it already. It takes a beating. You can see a little bit of elbow grease. I'm having a little soak. The water's cloud. I mean, the vinegar's cloudy now, but you could see it really was able to get it brightened up. I mean, there's still some pitting. You can see the pitting on the barrel and even the that. But just let it soak. I'll do one more scrubbing. Probably dunk it in some sort of oil. Just let that set until I can clean it up and get it prepped up. The surface is prepped up for bluing. So I let it set in the vinegar for a while, and this is what we came out with. A little bit more buffing and cleaning off the oil. I just gotta have it soaking in machine oil here now. But you can see it came out pretty darn good. See the pitting. So I'm going to try to buff that out a little bit, and hopefully the blue goes over it. But everything else is stripped right off. The barrel looks good. A little bit of crud to clean out, but ran out of time yesterday to clean it out. But all the parts look pretty good. There's one spring right there. Make sure that doesn't get messed up. Oil seems to be protected pretty good right now, so that's good. Yeah, pretty cool. Everything looks really stripped and clean. This is what I'm gonna have to try to buff out all these little see if I can get it in there. See the flaws on it. That was the original one I tried getting out years ago. So what I'll do is I'll probably beat the crap out of it with some steel wool. Just really try to get it, as clean as I can. Maybe at least get the dark spots out, and then I gotta stop at Cabela's on the way home and try to find the bluing. I think I'm gonna go with the Brownells solution and see what happens. But you can see it looks pretty good. I bet you it's gonna look real good. I'm gonna try to really get it real dark. So we'll see how it comes out. I didn't really get a good before picture, but you can see the way this is. I mean, this thing shoots pretty good. So it's it's only the surface that's bad. But everything else in specs, everything looks nice. It's just that surface rust. And it was sitting in a leather holster. That's what caused this, I think. It was sitting on a leather holster on its left-hand side, on this side like this. You can see the upside is fine. And this was down, and it might have been I don't know if it was in a puddle at some point, or some sort of moisture breached the holster. Trigger looks good. I'm gonna see while I get it apart, see if there's any reason not to buff it or do a little polishing of the trigger points. Yep, looks pretty good though. Look forward to getting this project done. Just keeping the oil everywhere on the thing. I want to make sure it stays nice. It was only out for about after the vinegar solution and wiping it off for the first time. I walked out to rinse some of the parts off, and when I came back in, it was already rusty. It had a full coat of rust. So I dumped it back in the vinegar, scrubbed the heck out of it, rinsed it off, and then threw it in heavy oil. So we'll make sure it doesn't do that. So what I'll have to do is I get the denatured alcohol. I'll strip it clean again. I'll make sure that we get everything off that we can. I might even soak it in denatured alcohol. I'll probably try a small part first just to see to make sure how we can get it off of the clean it up. Look at that hammer, huh? Oh, that's gonna look nice. I should leave that polished, but I'm gonna blue everything. I still got a lot more sanding to do, but we'll make sure we're all right. Pretty cool so far. There we go. Well, it's underway. It actually looks pretty awesome. I mean, this is the first coat on the hammer and a couple of the other visible pieces. Just experimenting, but it looks pretty damn cool. These do not have a finish yet. These are small components. There's the trigger, and a couple of the pins and things. And we're working up towards that. So I keep sanding this down. You can see the pitting, and I left the pitting up, and it's still soaking in the oil. So what I did was I tried mineral spirits and mineral spirits and acetone. It seems like the acetone does work a little bit better. Let's see if we can get that color. You can see the blued. This Bronell stuff is pretty easy to use. So I'm hoping I'm doing it right. It seems to be taken. It's very easy to use. It's very forgiving, seemingly. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these up, and then I'm going to take the remaining two pots out of the deal and try to clean all the oil off of those and try to put a coat on it. I want to get this really, really dark, so I'm going to put a bunch of coats on I can foresee in my future. So I'm going to try getting it really, really dark and see how good it comes out. But that's only one coat so far, and it looks pretty dark. So yeah, it's a pretty cool little production studio here. It's still muggy out. It's not very comfortable in the garage, but we'll power through it all for the good of the Ruger. Alright, so here's the final product. I got the sights in from Brownell's factory sights. So you can see the bluing it took. It's actually, it seems to look a little bit better on camera than it actually does. But it doesn't look too bad. What I think I might try to do is just take off little sections. Maybe, just do this little piece and try to blue that a little bit more. Just so you can see the bluing versus I got my old model 66 here. It's chrome, so you can see how bright it is compared to how dark it got. So it gets a little closer. So I mean, it does work. You can see that's pretty. I didn't do anything with the handle except put some oil on it. But that's it. Ruger new model Blackhawk. So it's fun. It's very fun to shoot. See if we can get it in there. There you go. New model Blackhawk. But yeah, you can see the details. See how it's kind of marbly. It's almost like marbly. I think a little bit has to do with I used. So I learned one important lesson about bluing. Bluing is a process of rusting, right? So it's like a controlled rusting. Yeah, don't use this stuff to seal it. Use regular oil, as it says. That stuff will just took all the bluing right off. It looked beautiful. It looked better after it. But after all the work I did, all the coats I did, I was putting a coat on, and I put that stuff in. And it took it all off, so I essentially had to repeat the process. And I don't think it came out as good the second time. So, that's the deal. That's pretty cool, huh? That's a pretty good shot. And you can see the pitting. Everything works pretty good. I brought it to range, put about 30 rounds through it, so it's shooting good. I think I got the sights up for 100 yards. They're pretty high. But everything works pretty good. I had an opportunity to clean all inside and reblued the internal components, reblued the hammer. Looks pretty good. It's after taking a little bit of a beating yesterday with some high power Magnum rounds. So that's it. So I recommend the Oxbow Blue from Brownells. I'm gonna see, I might have a supplemental video to this after. See if I can. I'm gonna try doing a little patchwork, just darkening up certain little areas to see if I can get it even a little bit darker. I don't know if I can, and it looks pretty good now, but we'll see what happens. Thanks.